Hi, my name's MacPhail, and I've got a crazy story to tell. Yesterday we were walking out of the Walmart and coming back to our car. I was pushing our 7-day-old baby and had my wife Svetlana on my side and noticed the car starting to back out of its space, and I turned to my wife and said, "Hun," to kind of speed her up and let her know that there was a car coming. And before we could react, the car floored the gas and came out of the spot very rapidly. And we knew right away it was out of control because it clipped the car next to it when it pulled out of the space. And I screamed 3 times, "Hun, hun, hun," and I jumped forward with our baby in the stroller, and luckily the rear end of the car came behind me, and then the front end swung out and missed me as well. And I was safe and clear and thought everything was good until I turned and looked, and my wife was nowhere to be seen. At that point, I didn't even know what happened. Of course, sheer panic at that point, and I'm watching this vehicle cross the lane. It smashed into a car opposite it, and I've come to realize what happened was it picked my wife up along the way. The passenger corner of the car had struck my wife, and she was stuck to the back of the car, and then that went back and rear impacted into another car, and she was in the pocket between the cars when they impacted, and that put her off of the other car and stuffed her underneath it in the end. At this point, I'm absolutely panicked looking for my wife. I ran over, I shut the ignition off in the vehicle. There was an elderly lady driving. I felt very bad for her. She was very apologetic, but unfortunately I was more concerned with finding my wife at that point. Finally, I realized where my wife was. She was on the ground underneath the first car that had been struck. Luckily, a registered nurse had already introduced herself to my wife and started diagnosing her, and she was complaining of pain in her belly. In the end, she took some abdominal bruising. Both her ankles were sprained, both her feet are swollen. She smashed her face hard enough that she shattered the lenses in her glasses. So she's been banged and bruised, but in the end, luckily, my wife, my kid, everything is okay. So as bad as it went,